This is where we left in the previous video by determining if a user is following each other. Now let's go ahead and then focus on the API, meaning that we are going to hit the backend API. Therefore, we are going to create two API services using React query to hit these two endpoints, follow and unfollow. So let's continue. Back to the React side of it, that is inside the API services and for users. I'm going to copy the login one, which is this, and down here paste that, change this one to follow user, and here as follow user API. And the endpoint here is going to be follow and then the ID of the user that I want to follow. Therefore, we're going to pass it as argument to this function as user ID, and here as user ID. And that is it. So here for the update, we're going to send empty data as payload. So here is going to be put method. And let's copy and paste for unfollow. Here as unfollow, and here as unfollow, and here as unfollow, and here as user ID. And supposed to be put here as that. Alright, so we are done with the two logics. Next step is that we need to hit or dispatch that API using use mutation. So let's go ahead and then bring in the mutation. So here or down here, I will say follow and unfollow mutation. And let's bring in use mutation, and the query key, mutation key is equal to follow, and then the mutation function as follow user API. And let's check for this is on follow user API. Awesome. So let's begin with the follow user API. Now let's assign to a variable as follow user mutation, which is equal to that, and let's log the follow user mutation, and let's go ahead and create the handler for follow mutation. Follow user handler is equal to async, and then callback function, and for this we're going to use follow user mutation dot mutate async for asynchronous request, and here we're going to pass in the ID, that is a target user. So here we have the user here as the target user. So it means that we have to bring these logics before the follow logic so that we can access the IDs here. Now I'm going to pass in the target user ID and dot then, and then dot catch, and have access to the error, and let's log the error. Then in the dot then here we can refresh the user profile. So now let's go ahead and then call this. So let's locate the follow. This one is unfollow, which is this. Let's uncomment and then replace with this. Let's go ahead and try out. Let me refresh it and then hit follow, and let's check the console. We have user followed. Awesome. And if you check, Let me refresh it. In the arrays, as you can see, we have two IDs, meaning that the following logic is working fine. But if I try to follow again, I'm not seeing the unfollow icon, and I still see the two IDs, which means that our logic find is not working well. So let's go ahead and then fix that. In this case, this. Well, the issue is that inside the array of following, we have them as IDs. But in the callback function, I am accessing ._id, which is not on the arrays of these IDs. So here is going to be just the IDs without the .id. Like this one, and now as you can see, we have the unfollow, meaning that the login user is following the target user. So let's go ahead and then also implement the unfollow. So we have the API logic, and I'm going to copy this for the unfollow as unfollow, and change this one to unfollow user API, and down here as unfollow user handler, and then the mutation here is unfollow user mutation. Change this one to that, and then on the handler for the unfollow, it is this one. Now, moment of truth. I think this one is follow user handler. Let me see. Oh, I have to duplicate this one for the unfollow. Yeah, I think I have changed the name. This one is for the follow, so let me bring back this one as that, and this is unfollow user mutation. And yeah, so let's bring this one to unfollow here, and then follow user. Awesome. So let's try out. Let's refresh it and unfollow. We got on-click event handler something. We got unexpected. Let's see. Is supposed to be, oh, this one's supposed to be unfollow user handler. This one instead. Yeah. So let's try again, and then unfollow. All right, let's try out, and let me refresh it and open the console. Let me clear one more time, and then unfollow. Let's check the response, and on the error we have response user not found. Well, the issue is that behind the scene I have deleted all the users with the exception of 2 users. So let me go ahead and then trash my database, and let's start from scratch. So here I'm gonna trash the post, and then the users, and let's go ahead and then register a new user as Masentech, and let me register for Sam, and I'm going to log in as Thomas to create a post. So let me get back to the dashboard, and I have to select a plan. Let me use free one, and I'm good to go. Let me use some dummy text here. Now Masentech has created a post. If I go to post here, we have one post by Masentech. So I'm going to log in as Sam to follow Masentech. So here, log in as Sam 1 2 3 4 5. I think I used uppercase. Yeah. So now let me go ahead and then follow my syntax. When I click on that and then refresh, as you can see, we got unfollow. And if I try again and then refresh, as you can see, we have follow. And let's avoid refreshing of the page before seeing the updated content. And React query makes our life easier by using a method called refetch. So in the mutation, not that, but instead they use query for fetching user profile, which is this. We have a method called refetch. And let me rename this one to refetch profile. So upon successful following and unfollowing, we are going to call that. So let's begin with the following, and that is inside the .then. And we will say update the profile after following. And then as a function call, the same thing in the unfollowing, in the .then, change this one to unfollowing. Now, moment of truth. If I click on that, as you can see, it worked. Likewise, this, it worked. Awesome. The next part is to work on the likes and then dislikes.